Okay, we're back out here, out behind the barn. There's all the junk there. There's my some of my 90 pavers. They're 4 inches by 7.87 by 1.75. There's some more of them, and I got those. I've unrolled all the landscape fabric I need on top of the shed floor base, and then I'm going to put it under it. And then we gotta it's as level as I can get it. Okay, now I gotta go to Batavia, but there we go. They're in position. Unfortunately, there's a lot of them that aren't where they're supposed to, under it, because my rake broke. I couldn't really level the ground off, but they will hopefully sink into the ground. I could dig out under there so it would go down, get the level, and see how level it is. It was pretty level before, but it does look like it's kind of twisting. I don't know. I mean, it will settle over time. So, yeah. But we got it partway done. Okay, so here we got the floor of the shed. And I didn't think about it until after I put this piece of plywood down. But I wanted to put cross members down so that it would make this more sturdy. It wouldn't be able to twist. And I completely forgot until I got this piece of plywood down. But no worries, because I put ones in here. They're only held by 2 screws on this side. And then I got to put screws down into them. And I'm having a problem with these deck screws. I bought deck screws because I figured they would be better for putting the plywood down. But they're not going into the plywood. So I brought out my premium interior wood screws that they sink into these have countersinking blades. Well, I thought these did. It says countersinking nibs, but it doesn't do anything. So I want to see if these will go in here better. If these will go in here better, I'm going to get another one. Yes, I opened this package wrong. I did not realize that you're supposed to open them like that. And I pulled it out open like this. And it's like, why is this so hard to get open? And then on that package, I realized that you're supposed to cut this. And yeah, well. So I'm going to try that and see if that'll work better. Because this is there, I can only put ones out here. I couldn't put ones in this one, but there is one right here. It's right under here, right where that screw is. That's one of the 3 and 5/8 inch or whatever it is screws. So I'm going to get my drill, which is over there, and try to put one of these interior screws in and see if it sinks into the plywood better. Okay, premium interior screws it is. So I got to get more screws. Those I'm still going to use to attach the tarp to the roof. But this floor is going to be attached with interior screws. I don't have very many, but yeah, definitely interior screws. If you're going to put plywood down for a floor, premium interior screws, not the deck screws. I don't know why those won't countersink like they're supposed to, but I don't have a countersinking tool, so I'm not going to bury the ones that are really sticking up. I'll pull those out and put interiors in, and see if my credit card balance is enough, and then I gotta get more of those because I use quite a bit of them to do this. Not all. This is not. Unfortunately, there's some of these blocks that it's not sitting on, but eventually the weight of the shed will push these down. We'll push those down, and then these with these cross bracing with the cross members, it's not going to. You can see there, I couldn't put that one on, so I got this screw here. Got this screw here. It tells me that I got to put this screw in here, and then this one is lined up with this. It tells me where I got to put the screws into that one. When I push that piece of plywood over and can no longer see, then I can make this. And then these I can see, I can reach from the other side. I can see where that is from the other side, and then I can put those in there. But yeah, so unfortunately, this plywood was leaning against the barn too long. I waited too long to do this, and I had to pour some water on it to clean the dirt off of it. And now this is wet, so this has got to dry out. So I'm actually going to leave this uncovered for a while and let it get rained on. And it won't warp because it'll be screwed down, but it'll clean it off, and it will air out and dry out. Because if I put a tarp over it, I don't think it'll dry out if you put a tarp over it. It might, maybe. I don't know. If I put clear plastic over it, it probably would. Because then the sun would get it, and the sun would pull the moisture out. Bring a hairdryer out. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, back to work. Okay, so there's the boxes to the shed over there, and there's a kitty. Hey, the kitty. That's a kitty that used to visit Sadie. She hung up on the fence and up into the window, on the outside of the window, and visit Sadie. Here's the shed. I'm starting to put it together. Now the plywood is wet, and I didn't have enough plywood to finish this, so instead of getting more plywood and finishing it that way, I am literally putting 1x4s here. Actually, I need one more 1x4. I got a 6-foot 1x4. It wasn't enough. I didn't think the space was that big. I was thinking it was only like this big, but no, it's larger. This one I measured out, and it should in it will be another 1x4 will fit here, and a 1x2 here, or a 1x2 here, and a 1x4 here. I actually made my base too big. It said that for an 8x10 shed, the base should be 9x11. So I made it 9x11, and I should have made it 8x10. Which would have made it a lot easier, because then I wouldn't have that off the end, and I would have had just 3. But I followed the DIY advice online, which was wrong. So I have a base that's too big for the shed. So, oh well. Just have to paint the floor that's not under the shed and seal it around the edge with like silicone or something. This won't be done today. It's going to take a while to do this. I don't have the wood to finish upstairs. I'll get that. I'll get it in time. Yeah. We'll see how all this goes. I can't put it completely together because there's some pieces that are wet. I'm just putting the frame, bottom frame together, and see how much more I want to do beyond that. So that's it for now. Okay, I'm up here in the workshop. You can see my shelf behind me. layout's here. I got 4 boards over there, and at my feet is the last module. I got these 4 boards here. 2 of these are for this one, and then 2 of them are for this one. So, yeah. I have a new tripod. It's downstairs because my the one that I got for $10. I mean, there's one part on it that's broken. So it can tip forward at a moment's notice. The swivel is broken. It's cracked, so I can't tighten it up, and so it can't stay there. So you can hit it, and it just spins around. So I got a new tripod, $25 at Walmart. Yeah. I also got the glue and the brushes, which I did not bring up here. I was intending on bringing up here, but I forgot. So, my circular saw does not work right now because of maybe it's I'm going to charge the battery and see if that helps it work. But, yeah. But these were all cut on my miter saw, so these are all good. Oh, there's a fly up there. So, let's go turn the camera around and we'll go in my room. Now, of course, I do not sleep in my room. I sleep downstairs on the couch, so my room does not have my bed ready. So this is the crib. It was over there. And I decided to, instead of having legs, I'm going to move the crib over here, put some stuff on it, because this stuff is here. We'll pile up some stuff, and I got to get some clamps, because I got to hold the modules together better. And then that will be turned out like this, and this will be put under this end and this end of that module, and then that will sit here, and then I will get to work on scenery, because this track has got to be moved over this way. It's got to come off over here. The Montgomery spur, which is right now the team track, has to go over here, and then yeah, what will be here is the shipping and receiving of Martin Colton. Now out here in this module, I'm going to have to do it differently than the prototype, because otherwise the switch would be here, down here at this end, and I would have to have a really long lead to be able to do any switching, or not, or maybe not. I don't know. It's tough to decide what I want to do there, because I can have it come over here, have Martin Colton be here, the New York Concrete Pipe Plant over here, but like a background building, a detailed background building on the edge, and Embry Lantern there. Or I was thinking of having it go straight out and having the Martin Colton spur come off right there, right over, so that it enters in the building over here, have the building come up to here, and have that Martin Colton spur be right here, where this is. Over to here, it will fit, how many box cars does that fit? You can have a couple boxcar long spur at Martin Colton to fit there. I think it's actually only one boxcar should fit there. I gotta measure the building. It's because the Martin Colton building is still standing, so I can either measure it with my tape measure in person, or I can measure it on Google Maps. But, okay, come on, focus. And then I was going to have the spur for Embry Lantern and stuff go off this way and go down here and have Marr & Colton, the manufacturing building, sitting here, Embry Lantern here, and New York Concrete Pipe here. So it actually would be very similar to how it is in real life, only in reality, because the track goes over this way, Montgomery's is here because the creek is here. Montgomery's is right against the creek. It's right here. And then you come across and there's a long distance. And then over here is would be Embry Lantern, where Fairview Paperbox Corp now is. It was another location in Warsaw when the layout is set. In fact, it's a customer at the freight depot. It receives the paper box cars, which don't have any on the layout right now. We actually have not, as you can see, I have not done any switching up here since the 3-part operations video, which we're going to do frequent operations videos. I'm going to keep putting out operations videos, maybe once a week or so. And I don't know, I can't tell for sure, but I think this camera is sharper image quality. It's hard to tell because my other phone had its lens was constantly getting dirty. I had to constantly clean it off because it kept giving a washed out look when I was rail fanning. In fact, there's some clips that have a washed out look because I didn't notice it until I was already recording. Of course, this quality will be lowered from 1080p to 720 because YouTube does that to my videos anyway, so there's no point in me uploading it in 1080p because they always lower it to 720 anyway. So, I gotta finish putting this together, and I don't know if I'm going to charge up the circular saw battery and cut this foam with that, or if I'm going to use my insulation knife, or if I'm going to use the utility knife over there. I don't know. Could be any of those, because it doesn't need to be a perfectly smooth edge. I was going to get a jigsaw, but I just can't afford to do it, and I want to get this module started before I can afford to build it, but to buy a jigsaw, because I got to get my CCW. I've been meaning to get that for a while, and I need to get it. Yeah. World's a scary place now. So we'll see what I've done in a bit. Be back.